Hello everyone, Jilles Groskamp here from Team Infinity, and today in this video I want to talk about the Infinity IF15-2, and I want to talk about the new parts that we have now. It's a longer shock shaft, front and rear, and also the spring retainer is lower. And yeah, in my previous video I talk about my car that I use at the European Championship in Apeldoorn when I TQ, and I was leading a long time in the race. Yeah, just unfortunately I had some trouble with the engine, and later on we had some trouble with the tire change. But nevertheless, the car was really good. It was really on rails, and yeah. So, but I got some people asking me how long the shock shafts, how long the shock is. So I want to talk about a bit more detail about this new shock setup, and yeah, I'm gonna show you now first the new parts, and after I will show you the lengths that I use on my TQ car here, and a bit of the difference on how they are compared with the old shocks. So come and have a look. Yeah, and here are the new shock shaft, the G295 25.5 front shock shaft. These are the rear 28.5mm shock shaft, the G296, and least the G297. Those are the shock spring retainers. So this is my race car, and this is one of my shocks from my practice car, and as you can see there is quite a big difference with the length of the shock and also the shock retainer. Also in the back we'll use the low shock retainer, and that means that pretty much the shock spring sit a lot lower, and as you can see here, you can easily see that the spring is much lower. Yeah, I will now take off the shock and I will show you the length of the shock. So here are both new and old shocks. This is the new shock, and the length of the shock shaft of the normal way we measure is 13.4 right there, and a regular shock is a lot shorter. It's about 11.4. So this shock shaft is 1.5mm longer. But because of the ball end, the plastic ball end is also about 1mm shorter, the distance now is 13.4 instead of 11.4. And that means also the spring retainer here, that also is a difference of 2mm. So the whole spring, you got a spring, sitting much lower on the shock. And as you can see also here, it's a big difference. So the feeling is just more traction, more feeling with the car, and just better lap time. Yeah, in the front, this is the lower shock tower in the front, and in the front the shock length is 12.3, 12.4. So also this shock shaft is longer than the standard shock shaft, and in this way it's about 12.3, also with the new shorter ball end. And also here there's a lot lower spring retainer, and also in the front I used the lower spring retainer, so the shock spring also is very low. So you change also the piston height in the shock, which just improve traction. Okay, that was my video for today. I hope this was helpful for you, and see you next time.